almost crashed?
No, it was bad. It was through a thunderstorm, and
they hit an air pocket, and suddenly they can't play football anymore.
In a related story, today is the day that Led Zeppelin's plane... I mean, not Led Zeppelin, Leonard Skinner's plane went down.
That's pretty close.
Leonard Skinner.
Zeppelin, Skinner,
Those guys, some of those guys died.
That's right. Today's the day that John Bonham died.
Yep.
In a plane crash.
Sorry, dude.
Him and the Big Bopper. It was the saddest day. And it was
Buddy
the day,
Holly, dude. Buddy Holly.
It was the day that the music died.
He's so evil.
Racist. I'm so racist.
Racist against music.
Speaking of racism on radio, Imus returns, makes his triumphant return November 1st to morning talk radio here in New York City on WABC.
I'm an idiot.
I'm a tremendous fan of his.
I'm glad that Imus is back on the air because he didn't deserve to be kicked off, but I'll never ever listen to him.
but now he's back on the air. Yeah. And it's just like, oh god.
Plus, you know what? I actually developed a fondness for the Curtis and Coovey show on ABC, waking up every morning.
There's not very many things I'm fond about with Curtis Sliwa. Other than the fact that
I actually like the other guy more.
When I see him in the city, I always Pinko. Whenever I see him in the city, I always look at him and say, "Hey, look, there's Curtis Sliwa." That's the only thing I care about.
Actually, believe it or not, Ron Coovey is very non-partisan. He's very. I always
Dude,
thought
did you ever see how long his hair is? How can he be non-partisan?
Oh, freaking filthy hippie! You're right.
Seriously.
I look at Curtis and I said, "Who's the mobster that died for not killing him?" That's what I look at. I'm like, "Who's the guy that really died that should have been in the place of this guy?"
I just look at him and say, "You're wearing a beret. You're wearing a beret. What's wrong with you?"
And I do love the fact that Curtis Sliwa had the balls to do that and
to wear a beret.
Yes,
it's seriously a fashion faux pas. As long as you're going to talk about mafia news or mob news, I'm not going to be able to pronounce his name right. Lindley Devichion he was an FBI operative that during the trial this week for the woman that was killed. It was like a hit in like the 80s. She was a girl who was supposedly leaking secrets about her. She was a gumav, some like
Isn't that a cheese?
Yeah, it's delicious. It's delicious. I have Guman Brie. We'll have some after the show.
It's spelled GOMOOBAAADADABA.
Z. You forgot the Z. It was during this trial for some girl who got killed in like the early 80s, whatever. It came out that Lindley Devichion, whatever, who was an FBI operative who was following the Corleone family. It turns out that when he found out that a certain member of an opposing family got rubbed out, he screamed out, "Yeah, we're going to win this thing!" And the thing from The Sopranos is actually based on something from real life. It actually came out during the trial this week.
Who is this guy?
He was an FBI guy.
Wasn't his name like Del Vecchio or something? What was that name you just said?
Devichion is what I have. DEVICC.
Maybe I'm thinking of a different guy.
ION.
There's an FBI guy that's on trial right now because he was giving information.
That's him. That's him.
Oh, I just read his name wrong then. Unless I read somebody else's. Maybe the guy.
Maybe I can't read my own handwriting on the paper, and that's probably what's really. And his name is like DeVito.
I think it's Del Vecchio.
Wow, maybe there's beer that just spilt on me.
Ew.
Wow, that's really pleasant. Well, I just think it's great that The Sopranos had this information that just came out in court this week that they knew about.
Well, he was giving it to them, too.
Obviously. Another fantastic news blender magazine this week pointed out this month, actually, the worst lyricists of all time. I think it's the bottom 40 or top 40, depending on how you look at it.
Of modern-day lyricists or throughout history?
I didn't go through the entire list. It does go back to, like the 60s.
I hope Walt Whitman is one of the worst on there.
Certainly not. Certainly not.
I'll fight you for it.
I will totally
Who do you think the worst lyricist of all time? And I do not have, the list. We can grab it off the internet if we wanted to.
And who's the worst? Who's the worst of all time lyricist? Songwriter?
The worst lyricist of all time, and I will go on record as saying I disagree.
Give a hint.
I disagree with the number one. Although he does have some really stupid lyrics. Mm-hmm. He does have some brilliant lyrics.
Is it Paul McCartney?
I'm just going to say
Paul McCartney is in. I remember seeing him on the list, but he was low on the high, so he's not as bad. Like he was like in the 40s.
I'm seeing who it is, and it's ridiculous.
Give me like a little bit of a hint.
Ridiculous.
Well, don't get me wrong. He's done some really, really stupid stuff, but he's done some really great stuff too. We've actually talked about his band and about how his band probably is one of the bands that is potentially one of those bands that's never had a bad song, although they have, and was pointed out on the threads and a thing. No, on our message board, maybe within the past couple of months, we've had it.
Sting?
Sting is the worst lyricist of all time, according to Blender magazine.
You know what's interesting? I remember reading, like, when one of his solo albums came out in, like, 1989 or something, I remember hearing that it was held up for, like, a year because he had all the music written, but he wasn't happy with any of the lyrics, and he didn't want to put out any bad lyrics, so that's what held up the album.
Then he should have never created Fields of Gold.
I was going to say...
That was the album, I think.
You know what? As bad as the do-do-do-da-da-da may be to some people,
that's the point of the song.
May I submit for your approval? You'll be sorry when I'm dead, and all this guilt will be on your head.
Classic.
Come on. How's that a bad lyricist? It's a genius.
They're not talking Police days. They're talking Sting days, right?
And you know what? As simple as your brother's
going
to
Are
kill...
they talking Sting single, or are they talking Police?
You know
Because
what?
Police had some great lyrics.
Look at what it says in there. Go to where it says the number one. I don't know if they. I assume that they were talking because I think like the do the da is the stuff that they're specifically
But something
citing.
as simple as from the same song as your brother's gonna kill me and he's 6'10", I think is a great.
Well,
lyric,
that's Police. I'm saying. I love.
And
the
then, like,
Police.
throughout the whole song.
I mean, I think he's done a lot of great stuff. I think he's done a lot of silly stuff too, but maybe not even a lot. I think he's done some silly stuff. I remember that Noel Gallagher is another one of the notables in the bottom 5, and I think he would even agree with that he thinks that his lyrics are stupid. But
lyrics are hard, man. Lyrics are always hard. Don't you find when writing a song that's the hardest thing? I mean, music I know comes easy to you, Chris, but
ironically, Chris was number 17 on the list, so don't go by him.
Yeah, I actually always go too far. Let's do this for a second. Whoa.
You all right? You got a call there?
I thought my phone was vibrating, and I'm actually on call for work, so I actually have to be. Oh, it was you. Okay, so no,
it's your job.
Okay,
you have to go to work.
No. Tell him to answer.
It does. Blender does kind of split between a pre and post Police Sting.
Blender did this.
Yeah.
Aren't they very arrogant jerks?
Yeah, well, they have a magazine.
Oh.
Obviously,
like those a-holes at us.
Yeah, well, you're going to say they're not.
Not a very good magazine, by the way, but yeah.
What, Blender?
Yeah, they also put Jim Morrison like in the top 10 or the bottom 10 too.
Donovan,
crazy
Jim
talk.
Morrison, and
Donovan, really? You're your man.
Oh, are you kidding me?
It's your man, Keith. It's your boy.
I had a talk with our buddy Tommy Quickdraw down in Texas about Donovan last night. A long time. Actually, the most of the conversation was him doing a Donovan impression over and over.
He's also got John Anderson up there, like number 17.
Yeah,
Messed up.
All right, so it's a bad list. What do you want me to tell you? It was something I saw in the news. It was on the ticker. Right
Morrissey
before
wasn't on there. Morrissey wasn't on there.
No, not a guy with stupid voice. It was guys with bad lyrics.
Okay.
Oh, come on. Look, Morrissey doesn't have bad lyrics.
Oh, are you kidding me?
Somehow Sting is the worst, and Kevin Federline is number 30.
That's like...
Ridiculous.
But Kevin Federline shouldn't even be on the list. Again, I know Scott Stapp was like 3.
New Kids on the Block.
Kevin Federline has 20 songs. That Sting has 20,000 songs that he wrote. So how you gonna choose?
Kevin Federline. Is a Kevin Federline video something on YouTube that they filmed in like a basement or something? Why would you even include him?
Let me just say, in light of the recent things going on in Britney's world right now, allow me to say I'm a tremendous fan of Kevin Federline.
Really?
I'm a tremendous fan of Kevin Federline. He, right now, by the way, has custody.
He's probably the lesser of two evils, though.
He has custody of both the children.
The divorce papers are finalized, Chris?
They are divorced.
She even lost her visitation rights
and she
yesterday.
lost her visitation rights this week.
For a week.
She's not even allowed to see her own kids, and because Kevin Federline is the better parent.
You just said you're a tremendous fan of Kevin Federline.
Yes.
But like musically, there's nothing redeeming about him.
Like you like that Pump Out or whatever song.
Oh no, I don't know. Popo Zao. No, I'm not.
That's it.
It's not. No, not musically. I think musically he's horrendous.
Yeah, okay.
I'm just saying, as a person, as a celebrity,
Like,
as a pop presence. You know, I don't even think he's a tremendous. I'm not even a tremendous fan of him. I like him so much more than Britney, and I'm glad that he's getting. Gets the kids.
But
and she doesn't.
Isn't that like saying the lyrics that William Shatner wrote for himself on his album during Star Trek is he's one of the worst lyricists ever?
Well,
why would you even include him?
They also put KRS-One as 25.
Okay, forget it.
I'm
I
in
didn't
junior
even
high.
see that. I didn't even see that.
I'm in junior high with a B+ grade. At the end of the day, I don't hit the arcade.
Who's that, KRS-One?
Yeah.
I'm a blunt being smoked, and I can't wake up. I'm a blunt.
Right,
being
that's
smoked.
right.
That was the most, probably one of the most horrible
I was
songs
actually
ever.
giving an example
I-
of his bad
He's
lyrics.
a philosopher.
Could I just tell you? Yes. 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 I actually listened to Criminal Minded and By All Means Necessary probably 4 times this week because I just legally downloaded them at work this week. And I've been listening to them on loop at work all day, every day. I love it.